All right, chat. Let us get started the right way. Let us get started with HLC, shall we? It's HLC time. Let's go.
America!
Of course.
No way. Did we take another one?
Not at this time, but dictators out there should probably be pretty fucking worried.
No! Wait, did you really think that you went and stole another dictator?
I mean,
At this point, I mean, he did put like 4 different other ones on notice. I'm not saying didn't happen. I'm just saying that the possibility absolutely exists. This is one of those things like, okay, we know it didn't happen, but it's like, it absolutely could have, and that's what kind of makes it so crazy.
with the way 2026 is already turning out, it's anybody's game at this point.
Well, if that's not it, what's your problem, Beans on Toast? No, your authoritarian president, if you can call him that. His ICE agents got their reservations to a Hilton hotel in Minneapolis canceled.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah, okay. First and foremost, addressing the dictator in the room. Who the fuck are you calling a wannabe dictator president, Beans on Toast? Need I remind you that your fucking prime minister is being more of a dictator than Donald Trump is? You literally throw people in fucking prison for mean tweeting. This is not even pot meet kettle. This is pot thinking that the pan is a kettle and it's black. Like, shut up, Beans on Falafel. Shut the fuck up. Seriously. And yeah, I don't know if HLC is going to actually address it. Yes, Carl, I was going there. I don't know if HLC is going to address this, but when the Hilton hotels in Minneapolis did that, Hilton yoinked the branding from every single one of those hotels. And yes, Starmer did get a voted non-confidence called on him. Well, Gramps, because that's the expression, pot calling the kettle black. It's part of the expression. But yeah, Hilton, when Hilton found out what their affiliated hotels in Minneapolis did, the Hilton brand said, I don't fucking think so, and yoinked their, no, Einz, I think it was multiple hotels. I don't think it was just one. I think it was a couple of them, as I am saying. Not like a ton, but there was a couple of them, I believe, that did it, and Hilton basically said, you're going to go under our name. No, we're going to take that back from you. And so now those hotels are no longer have the Hilton affiliation or branding or anything. They basically said, yeah, you fuckers are on your own. Tom, basically, when federal agents like ICE went into Minneapolis to conduct law enforcement, the Hilton hotels there were like canceled the reservations, and suddenly they were mysteriously all booked up. And so, yeah, Hilton heard about that and said, okay, you're no longer a Hilton hotel.
Minneapolis has plenty of their own problems. Might be a good reason why Tim Walz is no longer running for re-election.
Yep.
Don't you see that your own people are fighting back against the tyranny that is your current president?
In 2023, 12,000, and in 2024, over 9,700 people in your country were arrested for social media posts.
There we
go.
go.
No fucking room to talk.
Yes. Oh, and that is not even getting into the amount of rape victims that the UK has blatantly said, we don't care, we're not prosecuting your rapists. Or the victims of grooming gangs, where the UK said, you're not actually a victim, we're not going to do anything. The arrests for social media posts are bad enough, but they're actually like telling the victims, you're not actually victims, you should let all those disgusting migrant rape gangs just do what they want to your young daughters' bodies. Look, you Beans on Falafel, you're no longer a democracy. You are literally like little Saudi Arabia. You're little Middle East now. Go fuck yourself. you have zero room to talk, and everything that comes out of your mouth is just vomiting shit.
Don't give me that bullshit. Simply enforcing the law of the land. And someone who enters my country without the proper documentation is...
Zeb, they literally grabbed the guy up because he posted... I'm trying to remember if this was an arrest or not, but they grabbed a guy up for putting a social media post out of him shooting a firearm at a controlled range, on a controlled range, supervised by personnel in the United States. He went to, yeah. Oh yeah, and there were people that were getting arrested for. There was one in particular. Oh fuck, I can't remember exactly what it was. I've seen numerous, like, there have been numerous people that have actually posted the video footage of the police showing up to their homes and saying, like, because they said something mean. Not a death threat. Bearing in mind, this is not a death threat. None of these were death threats. They just basically said something mean. Yeah, it's, basically someone got attacked and pulled. Oh, actually, that's not. That was in the States, I believe. That you're thinking it wasn't. It was not arrested unless you're talking about something else. I think what you're talking about is the guy that got attacked. Oh, did it happen in the UK too? Okay. Yeah, like, this is not like people that are making like death threats or saying I'm going to inflict harm upon someone. Nothing like that. This is someone saying that, like, you're an asshole, that, basically being critical of someone, and the UK will arrest that person. For fuck's sake, they were arresting people for praying silently outside of a church because these people were not in a church building and they were standing there praying silently. They got arrested for that in the UK. That legitimately happened. That if you are silently praying as a Christian, mind you, not as a Muslim, but as a Christian, yes, they arrested people for standing there and praying silently. That has happened in the UK. This is the state of the UK.
Land. And someone who enters my country without the proper documentation is on a vacation? Is that what you're going with?
I will admit, though, kind of a bad look for Hilton.
It's a franchise. So after it happened, Hilton dropped them immediately, so...
Yeah, okay, he's got it.
I don't know who they belong to anymore.
It's important to note that this happened over a week ago, but just didn't have room for it in any of the videos. Hey, Kurva! How about you get your fucking plane out of my airspace?
It is just surveillance plane. Poland. And it is over ocean, it is fine.
Fine. We will escort it out of my airspace.
Wow, Poland really pulling back on the reins there. I'm pretty surprised. I figured you'd go, like, full bore.
There was no need to. At this point, he's lost so much fucking equipment in Ukraine. His idea of a surveillance aircraft is like a Cessna with a bunch of guys with binoculars inside.
It is not. I have not lost that much equipment in Ukraine. My special military.
Shut up, Slavic Special Ed. The most high-tech thing you've got is a broke dick piece of shit back from the 1940s, and it's on its last legs anyway.
Had to be done. Had to be done. Curious to see if I'm maybe doing it more for this one.
Military operation.
Oh, I'm incorrect. They don't even have binoculars. They're just putting their hands up to their eyes and looking like binoculars. Fucking dumbass.
If I shut off one of my engines and pretend I'm really smart and use big words, can I be an F-35 in Poland's fleet? That's going to be a hard no. Unlimited find out in a single air platform, and we decide to sell everybody in the world fucking tech support.
Did somebody say tech support?
Oh God, do not redeem! Do not redeem! Do not redeem!
That's hilarious. Kid, don't be mad just because you get to see me be the workhorse of the American 5th gen fleet.
And God,
That's
oh
fine, you
no.
can be the workhorse,
Okay.
the regular run-of-the-mill. You just got any horse. I'm like Seabiscuit. I'm a purebred.
You only let small little guys ride you?
Exactly. Wait, no.
Oh
Fuck
no.
you, nerd. Franklin, grab a box of bolts and just pour them all over the runway.
That's just childish. Nerd,
But effective.
stop picking on the kids so much. Oh, that reminds me. Raytheon, Ray, where you at, homeboy? Technically, it's RTX now, but what do you want, boss?
Technically, it's
You shut up. It's like when Elon changed Twitter to X. Everyone still calls it fucking Twitter. No one really cares.
Drill.
Anyways, and besides, I pay you enough money. I'm going to call you whatever the fuck I want to call you. We need to up the production of PAC-3 MSE, Missile Segment Enhancement Missiles. I want 2,000 a year. I don't know where you think that's going to happen. That's going to be billions of dollars. Do you take a check? Oh, of course. You're in crippling debt, and let's just spend several more $1 billion on missiles. Listen here, shit
Yeah.
stain. Number one, I wouldn't have to spend that kind of money on missiles if the previous guy hadn't just given all of mine away to Ukraine. Sorry, Ukraine, I know you used them. I know we got a lot of data and everything from that, so it's, whatever. But now I need new ones. And secondly, I wouldn't have to spend all this fucking money on defense if my allies weren't just weak piles of shit. Hey,
Restoring. Oh,
Poland,
Now Poland.
you know out of everybody, I'm not talking about you. All
Yeah.
this while you're talking about annexing Greenland and trying to convince Canada to become one of your states.
wait. Is that a thing? Okay, I hadn't heard about that. The Greenland thing I heard about that they were talking about because Greenland is very strategically important. That I heard about. I didn't hear that they reinvigorated the Canada thing. So I don't know. Yeah, they Greenland I know about. Greenland I know about. But when did they bring up Canada? That part I did not hear about. Yeah, that's what I thought, Kaibo. The whole thing about convincing Canada to become part of the U.S., I thought that had, died off a while ago. Oh, it happened in the same... it was in the same sentence. Okay, and Alberta's still making... Yeah, I don't even know what happened with their election on that one. I completely lost track of what the hell happened with Alberta's separation election. I don't know if it's even happened yet, honestly. I mean, you know what? Nguyen, the leader of Canada deserves to be roasted. The leader of Canada is fucking pathetic. He's getting into bed with the very people that are scamming the fuck out of the entirety of North America. He's weak saucing everything. Yeah, the leader, Carney, deserves to be fucking roasted. Absolutely, he deserves to be fucking roasted.
I mean, it's kind of a foolproof plan. If you borrowed a whole bunch of money and just built a shit ton of weapons, really, who's gonna collect?
Look, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't even know what the end state goal of Greenland is. Most of the fucking country is uninhabited anyways.
And as for Canada, do you think we want a whole bunch of fucking popsicle crybabies who just vote for a bunch of idiots and they have crazy inflation that's out of control? No, thank you. But some parts of it, maybe, they got a lot of oil.
Someone say oil? Okay there, Grandpa Buff. Words
God.
kind of hurt, all right? So you need to just watch your mouth there. And in America, I sell you most of your oil anyways. So it's not a big deal. You refine it down there. Where do you get
True.
off?
On Russia's mom. I missed a joke in the last one. Not gonna do that again.
Very funny. Where do you get off annexing anybody? I mean, realistically, who's going to do anything about it? And besides, I'm at least 50% sure that he's joking and just doing it because it gets people riled up.
That's true, and that's kind of the overriding point when it comes to Trump. Is when he says shit like that, it's wild card, and he likes that. It gets him attention. So he sends some absolutely crazy shit because A, he knows it'll trigger people, and B, because you don't know if he's serious. But all in all, it's giving him attention. And he is, point blank, Trump is an attention whore. I will flat out say it. Trump is an attention whore. And that's why he consistently says crazy shit, because when he says crazy shit as a private citizen, nobody gave a fuck. Nobody fucking cared when he was a private citizen and he would say like batshit crazy stuff. But when he became president, if he says crazy shit, the entire fucking planet listens and goes nuts, because now when he says crazy shit, he actually has like political power to back up the crazy shit that he says, and has people wondering, is he serious or is he just fucking around? And that's why he does it, because now people have no choice but to listen to him. And Wraith, you're right. It causes damage to the credibility of the U.S. when he's saying constantly batshit nutball stuff. And, talking about, like, I'm going to annex this thing. I'm going to go grab this thing. Like, yeah, it worked with Maduro. Like, he said, I'm going to go in and I'm going to snatch up Maduro. And he actually did it. But that's one thing out of a lot of shit that he says. A lot of the shit that he says otherwise, he's never done. He's like, oh, I'm going to sign an executive order, which, again, does not really do fuck all, realistically speaking. Executive orders, truthfully, is just like, I want this to happen, but it's the executive order doesn't truly have a whole hell of a lot of authoritative power backing it. But he says all this stuff because it gets him attention. He'll get attention from it. He gets off on the attention because nobody knows if he's serious, and because he's the president, everybody has to pay attention to it. But every time he says this batshit crazy stuff, I hate to say it, but it's very much in law. It is similar. It is what Trump is doing, where he says wild things and never follows through on them. It's kind of, sort of, in a roundabout way, the same as when I talk about the destruction of languages. You know how I've said that the SJA extremists have basically destroyed words like Nazi, words like fascism, like the whole Islamophobia thing. How they have destroyed language like that. So now whenever it's used, people just go, oh, they're not actually being serious. The same, to a degree, can be applied to him. Is he says these wild and outrageous things, doesn't follow through on it, so people may start going, oh, he's just fucking talking crazy, and then stop taking him seriously, and that can cause a hit to the credibility of the United States, in terms of where if the United States says, I don't like what you're doing, stop it, or I'm going to do X or Y or Z. And if that constantly is getting done, then the countries in question that he's saying this to are going to go, you always say shit like that, you never do anything, so we're going to ignore you. So it's not like 100%, it's not like as bad as like what we see with the SJA people doing stuff, but we are kind of seeing it. Now, with the thing with Maduro, that now has sort of like tick things back up a notch, where it's like, okay, if he says he's, I think he's using it because he basically went in and snatched up Maduro. Now he's saying stuff like, I want Greenland, and I guess he's talking about Canada again as well. And because it's hot on the heels of what happened with Maduro, people are like, oh, well, maybe he could be serious. But if he doesn't follow through on it, then we're going to be going right back to where it used to be, where, oh, he's just saying shit for attention. We don't actually need to pay attention to it. And yeah, we don't actually need to pay attention to it because he's just blowing smoke to get attention. So that's the problem with constantly saying stupid shit like this.
I hope.
Look, if I'm gonna have to be the world police and take care of everybody, they might as well be a part of our country.
America, what are you doing near my new oil tanker?
Your new oil tanker? I don't know if you know this, but that's flagged under Venezuela.
No, it's not. Not anymore. After you took out Maduro, it was reflagged as a Russian vessel.
No. You don't just get to randomly reflag something after it's already been seized
Don't
and
work that
sanctioned.
way.
That's not how this game works. God, the world would fall into anarchy, and I'd have to sanction a whole bunch of other people. of which you're actually already sanctioned, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
You can be sanctioned, that is fine, but either way, the vessel belongs to me. So you will not seize it.
I don't know if you know
wanna
this,
bet on
Guard
that?
Sickle, but kind of all the oil on the planet belongs to us. Everyone else just renting the land that's above it right now.
He's
That's,
right. I hate that he's
yeah.
right. I kind of got a thing for boats and oil. Really
Yeah.
wish I had a thing for holding people accountable for the whole Jeffrey Epstein thing, but, I digress.
Uh-huh.
Oh, so now you're going after Russian oil. I'm sure this'll turn out great.
Beans on falafel, are you surprised? Are you really fucking surprised that we're now turning, or that the U.S. is now turning its eyes to Russian oil? Are you really this fucking clueless, or did someone bonk you on the head with a cricket stick, recently?
I don't know if you know this, but the whole sanctioning Venezuela, sanctioning Iran, sanctioning Russia is all a means to get Russia to stop the war in Ukraine, which you should be completely behind because you're all about them defending themselves. We're trying to pressure Russia into playing ball because they don't listen to anything else. And quite frankly, if any of you fuckers could do anything about it, you would have already, but you can't.
I would like to be...
I do remember reading something today. I actually think France, and it might have actually been the UK also, I could be mistaken on that, just sent over a mess load of troops to back up Ukraine. So at least France, and I think the UK also, is doing something to support Ukraine in the fight. So I'm just saying there.
If you fuckers could do anything about it, you would have already, but you can't.
I would like to be added back to the F-35 program. I think it will make NATO stronger and our bond with the United States stronger.
Is that the voice you've always used for...
Oh, is that what it is, Alistair? They made a deal that if the peace treaty happens, they'll send troops as peacekeeping. Okay, then that's what it was I saw. They weren't actually joining in the war. They just offered to bolster the peace area. Okay, fair.
Bond with the United States stronger.
Is that the voice you've always used for Turkey?
I'm going to be honest with you, I don't know. I got so many of them bouncing around up inside my cranium, it's hard to keep up. And Turkey? Hard maybe.
Why would it not be a good thing for Turkey to have F-35?
I don't know, the fact that you were on the F-35 program, and then I told you, if you bought Russian air defense systems, you were not going to be in the program anymore. And then you know what you did? You made a deal with Russia. And Russia hasn't delivered, so now you're having buyer's remorse. So I don't know if I'm going to let you back in the program or not. You're not really one of the more trusted people in NATO.
Oh no, Turkey, if it isn't the repercussions of your own fucking actions. It's like, oh my god, he told me I don't get his planes if I make this deal. Fuck you, I'm gonna make the deal anyways, and now you don't have...
You don't get the planes.
Sucks to suck. Also, your people wear way too much fucking cologne.
All of you, quiet down. The nation of Iran remains strong, and I will...
Dude, you're fucking Iman, or whatever the hell, president, whatever, fled the fucking country because the protests were getting crazy and you were killing your protesters. So your president literally fled the country to the Ayatollah. Thank you, I forgot the word. Yeah, your literal Ayatollah fled your country because people are so pissed off at you. No, the country of Iran is not strong. It's the furthest thing from it, fucking Persian pansy ass.
not put up with any more threats from the United States.
Didn't you guys, say you were in total war with us, 2 days before we yoinked a fucking president? Your timing is shit.
And, your inflation is out of control. Your people can't eat. They can't fucking work. They're not getting paid worth of fucking shit.
Yeah.
And you've had 16 people die in protests. It's looking a little, uneasy for the Ayatollah Khomeini, whatever the fuck.
Yep.
Your religious leader, the old guy with the beard.
Really
ran
glad
away.
you said their religious leader, because if you would have just said the old guy with the beard, I'd be like, congratulations, that's 50% of their fucking population.
It's true.
It is
True
because
story.
of all of the Western sanctions.
Oh, of course. It's always my fault. Every time another political...
Okay. Yeah, it's all America's fault when you are the leading funder of terrorists throughout the entire nation. We must not forget, Iran is the one that funds literally all of the major Islamic terrorist organizations around the fucking planet. They're the ones that basically set terrorists on the Western worlds. Leave us not forget that.
Oh, of course, it's always my fault. Every time another political style fails anywhere in the world, it's always capitalism's fault. But it's crazy that all the rest of you can do your own thing while capitalism is succeeding. It's crazy.
Yeah.
That is why we have decided it is time to boost our economy. We will be giving
Ow.
1 million Irani, whatever fuck money they use, to each citizen of Iran for the next 4 months.
So, what? $5? I have no idea what the exchange rate of the real is compared to the US. Anybody know off the top of their heads what the current exchange rate is? $7? Okay, I was close. I said 5. Yeah, so... Oh, does he? Okay, he'll do the math. Thank you.
Wow, 1 million Irani, whatever the fuck it's called, per citizen for 4 months straight. Wow. Hey, nerd, what's that in, how's a nuclear program still money?
$7.
Yep. $7. They're giving the Iranian... Now, I will say, I will say, I've said this before when it comes to foreign currency. The exchange, realistically speaking, we're goofing around, we're joking, it's only worth like $7. But there is a key note of distinction here. Because just because it converts to $7 US does not mean that that's its value in its local economy. Because a 1 million real could be substantial depending on what the price of goods and services are in Iran itself. If the cost of food is, say, like 1,000 rial, then 1 million rial given out to its citizens is substantial, and they would be able to they'd be able to easily feed their family with that 1 million rial. If like a trip to the grocery store for them or whatever they go to buy food is only, say, 1,000 rial. So it's all very dependent upon the local economy. You can't just like do the exchange rate and go, oh, it's only worth $7 US. It's shit, because you don't know what the prices look like in Iran. However, I was going there next. Nope. However, the inflation rate is through the fucking roof, and it's on its way to the stratosphere. Okay, their inflation is insane, and we don't know what the pricing for all of their goods and services was before the inflation took a joyride on a fucking space rocket. So when I was saying like what the cost of the grocery store could be, a trip to the grocery store for them could very well be like 100,000 rial. It's possible that whatever their rent is something like 500,000 rial. We don't know, because we don't know what the local economy looks like in terms of what they have to pay. Okay. Oh, Rafton just checked. Okay, so 1 kilogram of rice is 400,000 rial. Okay. So 1 kilogram of rice at the current pricing in Iran eats up half of that 1 million rial per month. So there it is. There's your local economy. That means, so now we can laugh and go, 1 million rial is nothing, because literally a bag of rice in Iran eats up all of that. Milk is 230k rial. So yeah, a trip to the grocery store a trip to the grocery store very well might drain that 1 million. One trip to the grocery store may drain that 1 million rial. So yeah, that's the key point of distinction there, is when someone talks about, foreign currency, okay, what's the economy in the local market of that foreign currency? Loaf of bread can range from 200 to 500,000 rial, exactly. Now we can laugh because yes, that 1 million rial is roughly the equivalent if you were to translate it into like North American currency, either USD or CAD, 1 million real is probably about the equivalent of $300 to $500 in terms of spending power. In terms of spending power, actually, yeah, I'm probably being too generous. I'll say in terms of spending power, 1 million real has the equivalency of maybe $200, maybe. In terms of the local spending power, maybe $200. You guys are thinking less than 100. Entirely possible. So yes, now we can laugh.
$7 American per person a month.
Holy shit, what is this, 1952? Don't spend it all in one fucking place there. Holy shit, man. I don't even know if you can get a 20-piece nugget for that shit nowadays.
Oh
No,
no!
you can't.
Capitalism's only weakness. $7 per person. It may not be much to you, but due to the inflation in my economy, that is a lot of money here in Iran.
No, it's not. That's the ever-loving fucking point. Because of the inflation in your country, it's not a lot of money. That's the whole fucking point. Because the inflation in your country is literally out of control, 1 million real isn't a lot of money. It's next to nothing. That's what makes it so funny.
I'm not trying to tell you what you should do, Uncle Sam, but if we do another yoinkening or if I just bomb the living piss out of them, real estate and oil gonna be real fucking cheap there.
Ooh, did you say oil? At least he's not denying it anymore.
He never did. He never did. Oh, God. Okay, that was good. That was good.